origin story. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watching tropical flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threats on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film threat, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan.
Welcome everyone for Film Threat After Dark. Alan Ng and I have just seen Snow White, so I think we should talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, here he comes.
Alan.
Hey man.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Yes, that's how I feel about the movie. That's how I feel about all of this. You would think we did post an out of the theater reaction on YouTube right before this, and you and I were very low energy. We just didn't care.
Yeah. I was expecting to be prancing out of the theater, singing the new songs from Snow White.
Yeah.
Wow. Because the word we got was the movie was good, not great. No, the movie's awful.
That's right. We'll talk about it. Hey, joining us, coming to the stage, the Verbal Riot Show from Verbal Riot Show, Dante James. Hey, Dante.
Oh, how's it going, boys? How's it going?
We're all here. Hey,
oh my God.
Yeah, like you. Okay, by the way, you and I both sat next to each other, and we both got headaches watching the movie.
My head is still hurting. My head is still throbbing. So
yeah. Well, my headache came from all the eye rolling. Here we go.
Oh my God. Let's see who's here in the comments. Here we go.
ZG gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hearts Donut. I can't wait. I bet Chris loved it. Yes, Chris loved it.
Wrong, but that's all right.
Bill S. Preston Esquire. I think the expectations are so low right now that if Ziegler doesn't tell the men in the audience to check their privilege, then it's a success.
There is not a line about that.
Bill W. wonders, is this the gayest Snow White ever?
Maybe.
Oh, hey.
And Steph, My Nerdy Home. Ooh, Film Threat After Dark.
Yeah, go to My Nerdy Home, subscribe to Steph's channel. It is on fire.
And Steph, you were right about Be Positive 90. Snow White is a movie made for little girls show, so it should be reviewed by women and young girls, not men.
You know what?
You're not wrong.
Fair point.
You're not wrong.
This movie was not made for us. It was not made.
Point taken.
Laura Buckles, I found myself wanting one of those Alamo Drafthouse picnic basket popcorn buckets and decided to seek professional help.
Well, I'm sure it's still available from the Alamo Drafthouse, so check it out.
You know what just dawned on me really quick though? We saw a screening of this movie for free, right? But people are going to be paying for this.
Right.
Like people are going to spend money on this movie.
People will.
Yeah.
I still will say kids, this is a movie made for kids. And parents will bring
but what age group are we talking here? Like,
we're talking under 10.
Single digit.
Yeah.
Single digit. So 10 and under.
Yeah. And let's also remind movie theaters that 10 and younger get in for half price. So,
right.
CD Stein 69. Hail to all of you late night beautiful drunks in the Film Threat chat. Literally just looked at my local AMC, in between Thursday through Sunday, 4 theaters and 4 or 5 showings in each. They have 7 tickets sold. That's 2 more than my theater.
Well, I predict that there will be a lot of walk-up sales. That evidence, a lot of people are doing screenshots of their local theaters. I feel like that's very anecdotal, not really. I mean, we'll see. I think a lot of people that don't go to the movies on the regular or don't have A-list will walk up and buy tickets when they go to the movies. They won't buy advance tickets.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, we were not drunk enough for this movie. So.
No, we were. I had one drink.
I had 2 gummies, and that wasn't enough. So
right.
I was sober.
Hey, I don't know if this is breaking news or not. I just want to share screen here. Kevin Spacey on X says, hi ho, it's off to work I go. He's quote tweeting the Babylon Bee, who says, Disney wondering if it's too late to replace Rachel Zegler with Kevin Spacey.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Well, it's cool. Somebody can laugh about it.
Yeah. And there are some tweets. So before we get to our reaction, I want to look at these tweets right here. Some surprising ones. So here we're going to go through some of these. Let me start with, I'm going to enlarge this from our friend, Christian Toto, who saw the movie. He's not in LA, but he saw the film. And here's what he has to say. Alan, can you read that?
Yeah. Christian says, gotta call him like I see him. Snow White is charming. Zegler is endearing and strikes the right tone. Engaging songs, a script that doesn't hurt your eyes, and Gadot is a lip-smacking villain. Yeah, it's got girl boss DNA, but in a way that's integrated into the story. Wow, Christian.
Well, when you weren't dropping out, I heard most of that, but yeah, a script that doesn't hurt your ears, I would disagree, but
he's wrong. He's 100% wrong.
The one positive I can say about the film, this might be my only positive, is that Zegler, she can sing. She truly is a talent when it comes to her voice and musical talent.
Yeah, she should take it to Broadway.
She should take it to Broadway. Here's let
me give you my one positive. This movie has something that the original Walt Disney movie didn't have, and that's exposition.
You said that.
I know. Well, not everyone saw the video before, but everything needed to be explained to us. And thank you, Disney, for explaining everything.
Well, my one positive was there was one real midget in the film.
There was a midget.
There was one real.
I believe that was a dwarf,
and he wasn't a dwarf. No, he wasn't a dwarf.
He wasn't a dwarf. He was a midget. Okay.
All right. Let's read a couple more.
Yeah.
Let's read a couple more of these. We'll go to some chat comments here. Then we'll go right into our social media reaction, not a review.
Okay. Chris Parker, hashtag Snow White. I sadly left underwhelmed. Zegler is outstanding, and her vocal performance really elevated the old and new songs. I even found the dwarves to be fun. Everything else is just aimless, no real plot, weak villain, and many underdeveloped characters. It's decent, just not memorable. There's a memorable moment in this moment here, but we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Wendy Lee Ciani, hashtag Snow White, shows off what a talent Rachel Zegler is. I love her solo number. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the other songs. Gal looks great as the evil queen, but her performance was not as great as I had hoped. We'll go into more detail in my review tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what was she hoping for? I mean, Gal Gadot gave the same performance she gives in every movie she does.
Yeah. Here's another one.
Kristen Maldonado, hashtag Snow White, feels like a brand new musical with the wealth of fresh original songs that brings the story to life. The visuals are vibrant and enchanting, and I enjoyed the updates to the classic story exposition.
Nah, that's some bullshit right there.
Rachel Zegler and Andrew Burnap duet was a standout, while Gal Gadot does a serviceable job as the evil queen. And I believe Kristen had just seen Amelia Perez.
That is a shill. That's a shill.
Yeah. Kevin Phoenix, hashtag Snow White. is a magical retelling of a classic tale. It's beautiful plays with colors, and Rachel Zegler is effortless, the archetype of Disney princesses. It's a admirable adaptation and will likely reflect and enhance whatever thoughts audiences expect of it. I had fun.
You know what? How much is Disney paying these people? Because I can make up some bullshit too. So I mean, if they're paying out.
Well, I mean, the real question is how much are they responding to the quote unquote haters? You feel like that they are forced to love it because YouTubers hate it,
or they saw a different movie than what we saw.
Yeah, that too.
Let's read a couple more of these. Keep going, Alan.
Okay, guy at the movies, sitting here in a theater with tons of families and little girls in snow white dresses is a reminder that movies bring joy, and I need to get out of the film discourse bubble more often.
And from Verbal Riot Show on Twitter,
Two Gummies didn't even help.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Oh, let me go back to that. What am I doing here? All right. Forget it. Hey. All right. Let's read some of these soups and comments, and then we will get to our reaction from Nick Gore.
Oh, Nick Gore. For 2, how's my people's representation in the movie? Oh, we'll talk about that.
Guess what? It's actually really good.
Yeah, you're doing well, Nick Gore.
Must have seen a lot of people saw my rant, which was made as a clip that came out. I think a lot of people thought I was serious. I might have been trolling or just having some fun with that. That was I was a lot of people that maybe don't know you and I as well probably thought that was deadly serious. We played it that way.
What'd you say?
It was, forget it. The comment about, don't, whatever.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Yeah. But Nick, the question you should be asking was, how is my people's representation?
Hey, there was one. There was one.
Yeah.
There was one Asian.
Yeah. And did he have an Asian name? No.
No.
Hemorrhoids hurt for 2 Australian. My hemorrhoids really hurting. Thinking of you saw. Let's see. Pre-dawn corpse married for 1 month. So guys, 3 thumbs up or 2 poison apples. Oh, I see the 3rd thumb there.
Yeah, I would say looking at poison apples.
Yeah. Although I think you could slip a eggplant in there.
Yeah. All right. Couple more.
Gung Ho Mac. At least they got that part right. The dwarves saw Rachel Zegler and said hi ho.
Nice.
What was the part where the dwarves confront the queen? I think that's when they said it. Block World. The bigger question: would the Gremlins stay in the theater watching this version instead of the animated version?
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
No, they'd go out and terrorize the town.
Yeah.
Would have been over for that happy little theater.
Yep. Here we go. One more.
Okay, MK Solid. How are the DEI bandits? And will Alan be singing in the shower? Yeah, we'll have to talk about that tomorrow.
Will you be singing?
Singing in the shower? No, I can't remember a single song except "Hi-Oh" and "Whistle While You Work."
Yes. Well, there were versions.
I sort of remember the song she was singing when she was captured, or she was, a slave, or whatever she was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And if you watched Versus on Monday, the DEI bandits, they were diverse, and by diverse I mean black.
Oh no! They were very diverse, right? Because they had one white girl, they had one midget, and they had, I think, 2 black folks.
Yeah, 2 black.
Yeah,
2 black guys and a black woman.
All right, guys. Without no spoilers.
And they were all thieves.
All right, no spoilers, by the way. Only brief reaction to the film as we have just seen it. Tell everyone what you think, and we'll start with Alan, Dante. I'll go last.
Okay. This movie is bad. And it was bad from the very beginning. Look, this movie is made for children. And why was it made for children? Because there are cute little animals in every single frame of this damn movie. In fact, the moment the movie starts, there's a cute animal. And when the movie ends, there's a cute animal. Kids will eat this up. Why? Because there are cute animals in it. But I'll just say this. I talk about this often, but the Disney live action adaptations of the Walt Disney classics are all about correcting Walt. And this movie does everything it can to bring Snow White to modern audiences and correct the so-called racist that Walt Disney was. And that's the feeling I got walking out of this. Everything about this movie. Okay, I'll focus on the dialogue, and the songs are awful. The dialogue, it treats us like we're morons. There are times where you just wish people would stop talking because we get it. We understand what's going on here. And the song's completely unforgettable. The opening number. Oh yeah, I can't even talk about that. We'll talk about the opening.
Yeah, no spoilers today.
Right, but the song's forgettable. And but the one thing I liked for real is the song Hi Ho. And why? Because I was just at Walt Disney World, and the Hi Ho number that takes place in the mines is just like the ride at the Magic Kingdom. So if you've been on that ride, you're gonna love that one number, because it's pretty much the ride, that whole number. All right, that's me.
Okay, Dante.
Well, I was going to say love is a strong word, Alan. I mean, that's
I love that ride.
I don't know if love is going to be the word. Yeah. Look, man, we've been talking about this movie for what, 2 years now? It feels like I don't know, but it's everything I thought it would be. It's literally everything I thought it would be. It's bad. It's just really bad. But it's bad on a level of, like, I wish it were almost worse, because it was bad on a level of just boring, right? There were times where I felt like I was going to fall asleep in a film, and then there was times I felt like I just wanted to walk out, right? So, and look, you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe this movie just isn't for me. Maybe it's just not for us. Maybe this movie's really good, and it's just not for us, right? And I can accept that. There's plenty of movies that I've seen that, they're made for other people, and I Wicked, right? Wicked, I can respect that. But you have to be really young to like this movie. Like, really young. Like, you'd have to be a kid, because if you're an adult watching this, you are going to want to, like, rip your skin off of your face. like that's all I can acquaint it to. It's I remember there was a point in the theater where I was digging my nails into the sides of my seat, because it was so fucking, I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad. The songs were, you know what, here's the thing. The songs were fine. They were fine. It's songs you would hear in any Disney movie or any musical. So I really have no problem with any of the music. Rachel Zegler has a great voice. She has a great voice. She's not a good actress, but she has a great voice. And you know what? I guess for the role she had, she did fine. She did fine. Gal Gadot, completely over the top, but she did fine, I guess. The thing that really threw me off, though, were those damn dwarves, man. Like, those CGI dwarves, I couldn't get past it. I couldn't get past the uncanny valley of these dwarves. And every time they showed them on screen, that's when I would dig my nails into the seat. I don't understand that choice to go with those goddamn dwarfs. Like, I don't get it. Obviously not recommending this movie to anybody, and this isn't a review. This is just my opinion. Not the worst film I've ever seen. And I'll leave it at that. Not the worst film I've ever seen.
But it's not nearly as fun as Madam Web.
Madam Web holds up. That's all I got to say,
Yeah.
man. Madam Web holds up. For all the shit you guys give that movie, man, there was entertainment value there.
Yes. There was Sydney Sweeney in it. Yes.
Yes. And just levels of bad that, reminded me of Tommy Wiseau. So
yeah.
This movie, there is nothing enjoyable. That's the thing. There's nothing enjoyable about this movie.
Let me address the dwarves. When you watch the movie and you see what the dwarves do in the movie, the first thing you're going to think to yourself is a real person could have done those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me give my thoughts here. First, Snow White is a beloved classic. Obviously, the movie that the first feature animated film from Walt Disney. He bet the studio on it. It's a classic. There are parts of it that might feel dated, but it's quaint. It's a fairy tale that is has stood the test of time. And that movie, that animated feature could not be made today. The skills from artists today do not exist to make the original. And this film, Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, is the final boss of bad live action Disney. It is the example of corporate creativity that is just destroyed everything from what Walt Disney built up. How many classic animated movies, everything from Dumbo to Snow White to Cinderella. And now we have this. The legacy of Walt Disney is not only being erased, it's been destroyed by the garbage Disney is churning out. This movie is awful. Here's the thing. I will say this to the people we saw on Twitter earlier giving it, it's good. It's because it's been 2 years of hearing how bad this movie's going to be, and it's not as bad as people thought it would be, which is why people are saying, hey, it's and also the fact that Rachel Zegler, she can sing, but her screen time, I'm sure, has been reduced, with the preamble of a young version of Snow White, with a lot of other side quests with other characters, Gal Gadot as the evil queen. Rachel Zegler's just not on screen as much as she might have been. But this is god awful. It's corporate greed. And if this is the modern Disney company, they're incapable of making a classic film. Their best days are behind them unless dramatic change happens. It's that bad on so many levels, not to mention we'll get into more detail about the little socialism creeping in, about the equity and sharing apples.
Yeah. Oh God.
And all that stuff in the beginning. It's very subtle, it's in there, but it's
it's liberalism. There's a lot of liberalism in it.
A lot of that kind of stuff in there.
It's woke, but it's very liberal.
There's some layers to this.
Yeah. And the dwarves don't work. They do not. Not only do they not work, they are distractingly bad. They look like kind of creepy, like New Orleans big-headed, those big heads that people wear in a parade in New Orleans. That's what it looks like. And they're like good. And this, Alan, because you're a real Disney historian. Animators imbue their own personality into characters they animate. And they're so stiff. They're so boring and vanilla and milquetoast. I can see, like, we all agree that this is a single digit age movie, 9-year-old and younger, or 10-year-olds and younger, but adults will be bored. And literally after musical numbers, I've been to, look, I'll admit, I like musicals. And I've seen musicals at the movies and whatnot where people will clap at the end of a song. Not one musical number in this film ended with people applauding, and it was a packed house. Maybe the first couple rows were not full, but it was packed. And not one applause break for any song in this movie. The new songs are forgettable. The rearrangement of the classic songs are bad. It's bad. So I'm being, I'm holding back because I have a lot more to say, but I'll leave it there. It's I think we all agree, all three of us this is off. Like, and I sat next to Dante and I was like, oh my God, should I fall asleep? Like I felt a headache. It was just, and you know what? You could dismiss it and say, hey, it wasn't made for me. Well, that's fine. But there are classic Disney movies that are enjoyed by both adults and kids, but this isn't one of those.
I caught myself several times dozing off. So
well, unfortunately, I was awake through the whole thing. I mean, my daughter was chatty just about how bad this is, and there were moments of dialogue where I am just. It was like watching Novocaine, where I'm just kind of like this the whole time because the dialogue is cringeworthy. I mean, the cringe is my theme for this movie. I couldn't stand the way people were talking, and then there's a lot of melodrama. I mean, we all know the story. We all knew the story of Snow White going in. Probably 80% of this movie we already knew, and just to see how it was so badly treated or mistreated that. I was just really upset midway through.
The funniest thing is you can tell almost exactly where they tried to shoehorn the love story in there. Like that love story didn't seem like it fit. It didn't seem like it was natural. It didn't seem like it was in the original script that they wrote, because none of it felt real. None of it felt like this is a thing that's happening. It was really weird, right? Like even when he kissed her, it was like this weird, like,
hold on, let's not get plot points away.
But I mean, look, it's Snow White, okay? But yeah, you're right. I'm not going to get too deep. I'm just going to say that the love story didn't feel natural.
Yeah, and there are things that happened during that kiss you mentioned that is just unbelievable. That. Yeah, we'll talk about tomorrow.
But
the way they handled it,
let's keep it light.
Was
no details, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
so not talking about so much the movie itself, but the other thing that came to mind for me was this. I think it was very smart for Disney to release that trailer for Lilo and Stitch last week. I think that was a very good move because it's going to take some heat off of this movie in a certain way where after people see this shit, at least they'll have something to look forward to with Lilo and Stitch. I think that's going to be a big movie for them. And they're going to need it after this movie. But it's not looking good, man. And this is leading into the Thunderbolts. So I really don't know what's going to happen with Disney this year.
Well, here's the thing about that Lilo and Stitch trailer is that when you watch that trailer, and if you love Lilo and Stitch, they pulled scenes straight from the cartoon, from the animated feature.
Yeah,
which was smart.
It's like take a great movie and just redo it shot for shot. And I think they're doing that with How to Train Your Dragon too. But that's the smartest thing they can do is just don't veer off course. Just take that movie, make it live action, and be done with it. Don't add stuff.
And they're almost being slavish to the accuracy of Stitch in the movie. Looks just like the cartoon. Like not like a little, like no, exactly. And same thing with How to Train Your Dragon. The dragons are right out of the animated feature.
Well,
Well,
the big thing is
with Stitch, they have to do that, man, because Stitch, from what I've read or heard, is one of their biggest merchandise sellers.
Mhm.
So they had to get that right.
Yeah. No, my daughter's a massive Stitch fan. And the other thing is they got Chris Sanders to come back and do Stitch. And my understanding is he didn't exactly leave on good terms with Disney, but they knew how important it was to get him back in that role.
So what you're saying is they paid him a buttload of money.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. This will be a shorter stream because we're only doing the social reactions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to your comments and I'm gonna find some more things on X to comment on the comments. Here we go. We're gonna start from the top here, Alan. Hey, Georgie girl, what's up?
Currently packing to move. Thanks for keeping me company while I fill up boxes. And no, I'm not whistling while I work.
Yeah.
Well, My Nerdy Home, they changed the Hi Ho song though. Yeah, they added lyrics to it, but again, they put in the ride from Magic Kingdom, so I'm okay with it. Suns and Shadows got to be the gayest Snow White of all time. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Jericho 907. How long is this film? 148.
3 hours.
Hour
But
and 48.
it felt longer.
Yeah. I think it's 20 minutes longer than the original. Barton Bella, member for 6 months. Did y'all see Ziggler's glamour shot versus real shot?
Is that where she has a hairy back?
Yeah, I think that's the one she's talking about.
Oh no, I did see it.
About.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, Dan Sullivan. The bar for a movie being okay is so low, a worm couldn't limbo dance under it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Granola Grin for 2. Y'all can't spoil something that's arrived rotten. Ah, I see what you did there. Spoil and rotten.
Yeah. Hang on, Alan.
Okay. Kenneth Ye became a YouTube member.
Thank you.
All right. Taryn for 5. Which is worse, what Disney did to Star Wars franchise or what Disney did to their animated classics?
I think those are very equal crimes. I mean, Star Wars was self-inflicted. That was so bad. I mean, people will forget these live action animated movies like they'll forget the sequels to Cinderella or Lion King. Like the originals still exist, but what they did to Star Wars, they killed the classic legacy characters. Yeah. So I think what they did to Star Wars is worse.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Like you said, you can still watch the originals. But you know, like at the end of the Acolyte, the implication that Yoda is not as good as we thought he was. You know, they are going into the past and altering the characters of the past, while this is just an alternate version of Snow White, and you still have the original you can watch. So yeah, the damage is done to Star Wars much more.
I think so because they ruin the characters. Wait, here we go. This is from Chrissy Mayer. Oh, there you go. Hey, Chrissy. Rachel Zegler was cast as the wrong princess. Rapunzel, let down your back hair. So,
Jesus.
Wow, folks.
I mean, here's the thing, man. It's natural for women to have hair, even on their backs. But if you're going to wear a backless dress, you know, wax that shit off. You know what I mean? Like put some nair on it. Use a razor. I don't know. But like, if you're going to wear a backless dress, you know, you should probably do something about that. But other than that, it's natural, I guess. So
should we zoom in more or like how? No, I can't zoom in more. So anyway,
I am gonna say this though. If she's willing to like walk out the house with a hairy back like that, I don't think she shaves anything. Oh, she might just be a very hairy girl.
Oh, yeah. My Nerdy Home, Steph. If they're doing live action, then that's how it should be done. I believe she's talking about Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, just copy the original. Patrick Lemire, the new Forbes article is amazing. Turns out Disney movies cost almost 2 times what they admit. At some point, isn't it illegal to hide info from stockholders?
Yes, there have been lawsuits because of that.
It's called a shell game, though, for a reason.
Yeah, and Hardwick Bentao for 2. Branagh's Cinderella is the one great Disney remake. I would agree with you. Because he just told the story straight. He didn't alter it. He didn't need to shove in a message.
Actually, if we're being honest, a few years ago, Kristen Stewart was in a movie called Snow White and the Huntsman. That was a much better movie than this movie. So,
yeah.
I think it was good.
Well, folks, we could say a lot more, but this is going to be a short stream because we are going to. Well, actually, I'll let you guys know. I will be on Piers Morgan tomorrow, so I'm recording that in the morning. I'll be on the nooner. Then I will we'll be doing Alan and I at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll do Hollywood on the Rocks, where we can actually give a full review. And then we'll talk about Snow White again on Friday, and then again on Versus on Monday, mostly about the box office and I think the box office is up in the air. I think if we could speculate on the box office for a minute, it's looking kind of bad, but it's all anecdotal.
Well, Snow White has there's no
no
competition for Snow White right now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look, we mentioned this before, but we hated Mufasa for very similar reasons.
Yeah.
And it 700 million. That's pretty good.
Exactly. So it's like it's whether the movie is good or not doesn't matter. Whether it's bad or not doesn't matter.
Right.
And it's been built up to be so bad for so long that, frankly, just being fair is surprising to people. The fact that the movie has some things that are redeeming, like Rachel Zegler can sing, and she's very good. Her scenes where she sings, she's very good. I will not take that away from her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The other thing is it's safe.
Very safe.
The Disney films that have failed, they failed because they tried to inject some kind of message. Here, it's safe. There may be a feminist message behind it, a girl boss message, but it's safe. So safe that I think the evil queen could have showed a little cleavage, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree.
I would have loved to have seen it.
Yeah, and like I said, there's zero competition for this movie right now. It'll do fine. I think it'll do fine the first week. It'll probably do fine the second week. It'll probably be a big drop off after the second week. But I guarantee you, mothers are going to take their little girls to go watch this film. They're going to dress them up like Snow White, and they're going to make a day out of it, right? So I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, Chris, it doesn't matter if this movie's good or bad.
Yeah,
it's going to make money.
Were you saying she needed more cleavage?
No, I'm saying it's so safe that they could have brought out a little more cleavage. Prepare her for our pleasure. Well, I'm glad that clip is still in our.
It's still there. I have another one I might play too. They definitely played it safe. You can see the like changes they made to kind of soften Rachel Zegler. And you know, the surprising thing is it's not terrible because so many people like said, hey, it's pretty good. I mean, I think it's bad just because, you know,
it's bad storytelling.
It's bad storytelling. And we'll get into that tomorrow.
Yeah. Kids will like it, but kids can deal with good storytelling, with exceptional storytelling. And they're not going to get it here. And I think adults are going to have the hard time with it. Yeah.
All right. We're going to leave it there. Short stream, early social media reaction, full review tomorrow, spoiler-filled review on Friday. And then versus, we're talking box office and the fallout, because I really do believe this could surprise and do good business the next couple weeks, in the same way that Mufasa, which you and I both hated that movie, Alan.
Yeah.
We hated that movie, and I thought it would bomb. It's still in the top 10 box office after months. You believe that?
I know. In fact, I may go see Mufasa just as a palate cleanser.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah, I do think that Gal Gadot as the evil queen, I think cleavage would have helped. I love breasts. Women look at other women's breasts. Gay men love breasts. One thing that could unite the world is breasts and cleavage. I really believe that. I truly believe in breasts. All right, we're going to leave it there. Subscribe to Verbal Riot Show.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have my review up tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST. My full review, my full thoughts. I'm still trying to figure that out tonight.
Take another gummy.
There's a lot to sift through. So, but yeah, you guys can catch my review tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Cool. And that's it for us. So, tune in, and if you watch Piers Morgan, I will be on tomorrow, I think, with Drinker and That Nerdrotic.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think they pre-record that and it'll be the following day that it comes out.
Yeah, something like that. Cool. So, all right, thank you, everybody. Alan,
let's get out of here.